Today, we are diving into a really wild idea, one that treats our whole existence like some kind of cosmic rental agreement. It's an incredible story about a soul who literally got an eviction notice from her own body. We're going to follow the conversation between Evan, who's the skeptic here, and Evelyn, the woman who claims she actually lived through all of this.
So let's just start with the question that's at the heart of this whole thing. What if your soul actually had to pay rent for your body? I mean, think about that for a second. It's a pretty powerful idea. It suggests that our physical form isn't really something we own, but something we're just leasing. And yeah, that lease can be terminated.
And this quote, this gets right to the terrifying core of Evelyn's story. She claims she once had this perfect, healthy body until she got evicted. She just lost all control. Her body literally walked away without her, all because she got served a cosmic eviction notice.
So how in the world does a soul get evicted? Well, according to this worldview, your tenancy isn't guaranteed, not at all. There are rules, there's a cosmic landlord, and believe me, the rent is always due. Now, the currency in the system isn't money, of course. It's what Evelyn calls mystic rent. She describes it as a pure mystic light that your soul has to generate every single month. This light is the very thing that anchors you to your body. It's simple, really. No light, no anchor, you're out.
And this energy, it basically comes in two flavors. On one side, you've got your pure mystic light. It's weightless, it keeps you anchored, keeps your reflexes sharp. But on the other side, there's misused toxic energy. And this stuff is heavy. It makes you sluggish, and it is the #1 reason for eviction. The soul literally becomes too heavy to stay in its vehicle.
So what exactly did Evelyn do to get evicted? Well, she's pretty open about it. She says she wasted her energy on constant partying, mindless entertainment, and just flat out ignoring her conscience. She basically ran out of what she calls the virtuous light glue that kept her soul attached. So when that cosmic eviction notice showed up, her spiritual bank account was totally empty.
But here's the thing, this eviction wasn't just a punishment. No, it was a lesson. After she got cast out, Evelyn was assigned a brand new body, and this one was specifically designed to teach her a really harsh lesson in humility.
The new vehicle she got was, in her words, a clunker. She describes it as unattractive, overweight, and both mentally and emotionally broken. It was a world away from the body she'd completely taken for granted. In fact, she says other souls before her couldn't even handle it, probably because of all the dense, toxic energy they'd left behind.
So in this new body, she was just relentlessly mocked and bullied. But then she had this profound realization. The bullies, they were acting exactly like she used to act. She suddenly understood that this whole experience was a soul test, not just for her, but for them too. While she was learning humility, they were completely failing their own test. And this really highlights two clashing worldviews, doesn't it? Through all her suffering, Evelyn learned that souls are accountable for what they do, and that consequences are actually powerful teachers. Her bullies, though, they believed that some savior would carry all their sins, guaranteeing them a ticket to paradise no matter how they behaved. To them, a body like hers was just disgusting.
And just when you think the story can't get any stranger, it introduces another unsettling layer. Evelyn explains to Evan that we're never actually alone. We are constantly surrounded by unseen companions, invisible entities that are drawn to the energy we're putting out. As you can imagine, Evan is completely freaked out by this. I mean, he can't see anything, but the idea of invisible beings all around him is, well, it's terrifying. His reaction is probably what most of us would feel, just pure fear.
Evelyn calls these things hungry ghosts. And they're exactly what they sound like. Invisible beings drawn to the corrupted, toxic energy that we create when we lose our harmony. You know, when we feel anger or jealousy or hate. They're like moths drawn to a very specific and very negative flame.
So get this, our emotions aren't just internal feelings, they are broadcasts. Evelyn tells Evan that when he gets angry, he radiates this dark red glow, which sends out a signal into this unseen world. It's basically an open invitation for these entities to come on over.
And the effect is immediate. It's not like there's a delay. As Evan gets angrier, Evelyn literally points to the air around him and says, "Look, here come more hungry gusts." They're gathering for a feast, literally feeding on the vibration of his anger and whispering in his mind to generate even more of it.
But here's the good news. The solution is just as immediate. The very moment Evan lets go of his anger and chooses to trust Evelyn instead, his energy completely shifts.
She describes it as a pink explosion of light that instantly repels all the dark entities. And in their place, angelic beings arrive, drawn to this new, harmonious vibration.
But the story goes even deeper, and honestly, it gets a lot more personal. Because not all of these entities are just passing visitors. Some of them are permanent residents, the ones we've personally invited in and actually allowed to stay.
And this is where we have to make a really critical distinction. The hungry ghosts, they're just temporary visitors, right? They're drawn to a passing outburst of anger. But the friendly feeders, well, they are constant companions. They're like personal pets that are sustained by our long-term vices and addictions.
And Evelyn uses this incredibly powerful metaphor to describe what it's like when you try to quit a bad habit. These feeders, they don't just go away quietly. Oh no, they demand to be fed. They will pound their forks on the table. They will plead. They will argue. They will do anything to get their energy fix from you.
And this offers a whole new way of looking at why breaking an addiction is so brutal. According to Evelyn, you are literally bonded to these beings. So when you try to starve them, you feel their desperation and their withdrawal as if it were your own. You're not just fighting a habit, you are fighting for control of your own energy against a creature that is starving to death.
Okay, so if we're surrounded by this invisible world, how do we clean house, right? The final part of this explainer offers a path forward, a way to turn your own energy field from a kind of haunted house into a heavenly oasis.
The process is laid out in 4 pretty clear steps. First, just stop adding to the trash pile. Stop creating toxic energy. Second, you have to consciously fill your thoughts with wisdom. Third, fill your feelings with virtues like love and peace. And the ultimate goal here? To become a walking paradise, a place where divine beings actually want to hang out and recharge.
But what happens to those who just refuse to take this responsibility? Well, Evelyn shares a really chilling cautionary tale. She talks about a soul who mocked the whole idea of judgment and refused to clean his own house, and the punishment was absolute. He awoke as a single particle of dust, floating helpless and totally alone in the cold void of space.
So all of this brings us to the final, really provocative question. If our thoughts and our feelings are broadcast, constantly shaping an unseen reality and attracting energies that match, then we really have to ask ourselves, what kind of world are you broadcasting today?